You are tuned into Capital Jazz TV. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey. We are on the 10th anniversary of the SuperCruise. Sitting next to me is my crush for years, Mr. Howard Hewett. I didn't want to tell you when I first met you because I didn't want you to think I was a stalker.
Oh no!
But I had a crush on you when I was younger, and I'm so glad that I'm getting a chance to talk to you right now.
It's an honor meeting.
It's great meeting you as well. So this is your first SuperCruise.
My first SuperCruise. I've heard about it through the years. You know, the last 10 years. In fact, Michael Collier told me he's a great friend, and he's told me about it a bunch of times. I wanted to go on the Cuban one, the one going to Cuba, you know,
one in February,
in February. But it's everything that everybody always told me it would be. So it's great. It's a great time.
Excellent. What are you enjoying the most?
Chilling. Chillaxing.
I love it.
I mean, it's usually I don't usually stay on the whole time when I do cruises, but when I do, my fiance she loves the cruises and stuff.
I'm with her.
Yeah, so like we stay on, we chill, and this is really a great time to chill because my show's not till tomorrow.
Right.
So I've been on the whole time from the very beginning till tomorrow, then have a couple days after that to chill.
Have you snuck any shows in?
Oh yeah, we saw Bill Bellamy and Tony Robbins killed. We love comedy shows and Everett Harp and Jeff Lorber and Chuck Loeb, and they were amazing. And gonna try and check out George Wallace, because George Wallace is like family. He's my family. He's part for real.
Wait, for real?
For real. Well, kind of in-laws.
Okay.
Because his cousin is married to my sister. So it's like it's a family affair. Yeah,
I love it.
And he's right next door, so that's good in the cabin. So it's very cool.
Right. So people are excited to see your performance. How does that, as an artist that's been doing this for so many years, I mean, do you still get nervous? Do you still get or you just get on there and it's like, whatever?
Well, you get the butterflies. I mean, if I didn't get butterflies, then I'd be concerned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess the butterflies are like the adrenaline, adrenaline flowing. So, I mean, you always get excited about that. Always get excited about getting in front of your audience and people digging what you're doing, hoping that they can really, enjoy it and stuff. That's what I always talk about, recording as opposed to personal appearances. Because recording is basically, you're in the studio, you're working on something, you put it out there, and you have to wait for the response, for the reaction, response to what you're doing. When you do a personal appearance, it's instant gratification. It's like as soon as you hit the stage, then like people, you respond. People are responding to you.
Right.
And I've been a performing artist since I was 10 years old. So
that's years.
Yeah, years. A lot of years.
Not that many years.
A lot of years. Believe me.
You're still young, Howard. Don't even try it.
We're always going to be young, but there's a lot of years.
Yeah. What would you have told your younger self from the Howard that you know now?
Man, somebody else asked me that, and that was a really difficult question because, the one thing that you always don't want to do, you don't want to take yourself so seriously.
Right.
But I've never done it. I've never taken myself so seriously that, that you miss everything that this career that you're blessed with can offer you, because if you take yourself so seriously, you're missing a lot of good down to earth type of interaction with people.
Right.
So, man, I don't know. I mean, people ask me about regrets. I don't really look at things as far as regrets because it's I mean, everything, who I am right now, when I look in the mirror, if I'm cool with who I am right now, then every single thing that I went through was important to becoming the person that I see in the mirror.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I try to live that life with no regrets as well.
Right.
It had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you thought, okay, if I have a regret, I might say maybe I didn't skydive or something like that.
Right.
But I always say I'm going to skydive when I'm 85. So if the chute doesn't open, I had a good life. So it's cool.
I love it. I was talking to Eric Roberson. You're familiar with Eric Roberson?
Yes,
one of the singers
definitely.
here on the
They're
show.
great vocals.
And Eric and I were kind of going back and forth and talking about some of the artists, and we landed on you. And he brought up a really good point that I didn't even think about this, but he said that Howard Hewett is, and I'm talking to you like you don't exist. Howard Hewett, you're not like you're right here. You're one of the trees that a lot of these R&B singers have fallen from.
Wow, that's
so
great.
So if you look at the tenors that the Brian McKnights, the Eric Benets.
Eric, yeah.
Right. When you look at their careers, you kind of created that lane for that sound, that style.
Yeah, that's funny because we did. That was another show that we got into the other night. Eric and Angie Stone, and Eric and I, we're good friends. We've been friends for years. And so it was funny because we were talking backstage, and he brought up his song. Sometimes I forget the name of it, but when I heard it, first time I heard it, I said, "That dude, he's singing my stuff."
Right.
But but it's flattering. It's very flattering, and Eric is an amazing vocalist, but I'm flattered. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to, listen to Marvin and listen to Stevie and listen to and so I had my Stevie Wonder period where I wanted to sound like Stevie, I wanted to sound like Marvin, I wanted to sound like Donny Hathaway, but when I was about 15 or 16 years old, I said, well, the thing that makes these cats unique is the fact that they are unique.
They have their own lane.
They have their own lane. When you hear Stevie, you knew it was Stevie. When you heard Marvin, you knew it was Marvin and Donnie, and so forth. And I said, one day I want some people. I said, what I want is one day for somebody to say, I want to sound like Howard. I want to sound like Howard. So at 15, 16, that's when I started rolling up all the influences and add my own little flavor in there, and figuring out how to do that natural into the false situation, without a break and effortlessly, and I used to spend a lot of time in the bathroom that in the house that I grew up in, because all that tile and everything,
the bathroom,
it's like,
look,
it has a natural.
I get it in.
Yeah, I know. Everybody sounds good in the bathroom.
I bypass Whitney Houston. You can't tell me nothing.
Everybody sounds good in the bathroom. Good, but it's all that tile, so the natural reverb and everything, and figuring out how to hit that and slide up, and so I started trying to putting that together when I was about, like I said, 15, 16, 17 years old. Yeah.
And you're one of the, and I'll say it, you're one of the few that actually still sounds. You still have that voice, like you.
Thank God.
I mean,
thank God.
it's still here.
Thank God.
I love that.
Thank you. I a lot of people say, how do you preserve your voice? Do you
what
exercise?
Do you
sleep? Believe me, when we get done with this, because I got 7:30 sound check in the morning and 11 o'clock show in the morning, it's like I'm hitting the.
I get it.
And that was even back in the day when I really wasn't really even aware of it. If you saw me, because early Shalimar days, that was like Studio 54 and all that stuff in New York, partying with Rick James, all those guys, but if you saw me out at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, you could pretty much put money on the fact that I probably didn't have a show the next night or for the next couple of nights, because you got to get sleep, you have to rest up. It's just like, the thing is, I am the instrument.
Exactly.
I am, I don't pick up a guitar. I don't pick up a bass or sit behind some drums or sit behind a keyboard. I am the instrument. So like if I was a guitar player and I bought a guitar and I never bought a case for it and drug it around and just threw it in the corner and everything and didn't take care of it, after a while the guitar's not going to sound the way it's supposed to sound. So that's the way I've always kind of looked at it. I'm the instrument.
I love it, and you got to self-care. You got to take care of
all that. I hate But I drink tea before I work, you know, because it makes it easier. It takes care of the instrument.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So I know we've got to wrap it up. I see. I see the cues. I know I gotta move it real fast, but I gotta ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
First is, what's next for you?
Mm-hmm.
What can people expect from Howard Hewett now?
Well, I'm working on the next studio album. The thing about the whole independent system now, which is what I love. I love, you know.
That's a whole nother interview that I have.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we could put this as a part 2 and talk about you transitioning from major to independent.
Exactly. And a good friend of mine, Jay King from Club Nouveau. He's a cat that first turned me on to the whole independent system when I was still with Elektra. And finally, I talked to Elektra. I talked them in I said, okay, we got to split because we weren't really gelling. They weren't understanding where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And so, like, you know, it went to the, you know, into the independent system. And the thing about the independent system is that you can basically take your time and put the record together. It's not, you don't have the major record company bureaucracy hanging
and the
over
timeline.
you. Yeah, you gotta do this. You gotta
do this by this
No,
day.
you can't put a single out until you finish the whole album.
Right.
I never understood why that was, you know.
Right.
So now you can put singles out as you go along.
Absolutely.
And so I'm working on that, working on the next, in fact, we go to England.
Nice.
Next month. Well, I'll hook up with it, but that's a Shalimar thing.
Ah.
So I'm doing this, me, Jeffrey Daniels,
Jeffrey
and
Daniels.
myself and Carolyn Griffey.
Yes.
We've been doing the Shalimar thing for the past like 15, 20 years or so now.
Nice.
So I go there and do that for a couple weeks, and we do that about maybe 2-3 months out of the year, actually, in the course of a year.
So
And
how do people keep in contact? Like, how do they know your tour schedule?
you can go to Howard Hewitt, the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Howard Hewitt fan page.
Okay.
Hewett, not ITT. They've been trying to get me to spell ITT since kindergarten, so. You know, but it's Hewett.
ETT. I would have never thought ITT.
Yeah,
but okay,
they
maybe some
tried to-
people would have.
So, but then that takes you, when you go there, then they'll take you to the Twitter page and the Instagram page and all that kind of stuff. So
Perfect.
you can stay in touch. They have a calendar on there. My daughter took it over actually a few months ago. My
God for the
oldest
kids.
daughter. Oh, for sure. And so she's doing a great job with it and everything. So, you know, you can go there and you can, you know, check everything out.
Perfect. Well, Howard, thank you so much for being
Thank
on the
you.
Super Cruise. I still can't believe this is your first one.
This is my first one.
I was getting ready to talk to you about the last 2 that you did.
No, I hope this won't be the last one.
Oh, I
'cause I've
doubt
had a
it.
great
I
time.
doubt this is the last.
I
You
hope
will
it's the
be-
last one I'm performing at 11 o'clock in the morning, but
Right.
but it's all
Because,
good.
you know, people want to see you. Your shows are sold out already.
Great, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, Howard, thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
on Capital Jazz TV, being on the Super Cruise. Howard Hewett, please go check him out. It's incredible being here with you.
Thank you very
This
much.
is Jodine Dorsey on Capital Jazz TV.
Peace.